This is the process that I've done in the past 2 years, working with a group of under 18, 19 guys back in my old club. And I think it's very interesting. So you will watch a lot of this and you will think, oh, it's not explaining me anything. I will do a lot of groundwork that you will see that with this concept, maybe you can build the offense you want. I build it in a 5 out way with some position. I still use a five as a position. It was not a positionless offense, but maybe you can do it with also a five and the four, or you can do it with positionless players, like if that more of your more fit to your roster. So let's go general with this. Uh, the goal of an offense is to create a good shot. I think we already spoke about this. If this is the second part of the podcast, or I don't know, you will edit it out if it's the second one. But the goal of the offense is to create a good shot. And a good shot is not an absolute. It depends on your belief. So maybe for me, a good shot is different from you or from Mike D'Antoni to Phil Jackson. It's okay. So either we do it, we like to create an advantage. So it can be like numerical advantage in transition, 4 against 3, 5 against 4, or we want to force a help. So there's a drive, a player has to leave his own assignment and has to come help, and then we can punish that advantage, punish that help, and stuff like that. The focus that the situation that we're going to focus a lot on is this: maintain the advantage. So maintain the advantage is all about first decision, spacing, and reaction to what my teammates are doing, and the idea of punishing who helps. So in defense, when we coach defense, we always speak about, oh, we have to help the helper. And in offense, it's the opposite. We want to punish with helping. Okay, a guy is helping on a drive. There's somebody opening the paint. Somebody is coming over from the corner to help. Okay, open corner man. Somebody is doing an X-out rotation. Okay, extra pass. That's easy in theory, but if you are able to show to your player that this is a concept that it's worth every time, and in pick and roll coverages, post-up coverages, transition defense, then this can help their understanding of the game. And okay, the last part is actualize, finalize the advantage, making the shot. These are terminologies for assistant coach. Coach, if you have any question, jump in at any moment. Coach, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It cut
Okay,
out for a minute, but we're good.
Okay. Uh, so what do we mean by when we say conceptual offense? Conceptual offense is based, if you want to do all conceptual offense, in principle instead of set, it can allow player more freedom to read, react, and also I really insist on it. Select different option. What? Oh, sorry. What's the difference between like select an option or make a read? What I mean with this is that you don't have to be like pass the ball to you. Let's say you are in the high post, and I can decide if I want to run and take and play a get action with you, take the ball for a end off, or I want to go and screen a teammate in the corner. Okay, maybe there's a part of reading the defense in that. Oh, okay, my defender is here, so maybe it's better if I do this. It's better if I do that. But also, especially in the first part, it's good that players are able to choose because these add unpredictability. Maybe the defense is neutral. You don't have a clear advantage. It's not better to do A or better to do B, but it's simply okay. I can pick my option, and the defense don't know what's coming compared to a normal set-based offense. You know what I mean? And these principles can be introduced into many set-based offense. Imagine a classical double I situation. So okay, you can pass the ball to the four, and you can decide, okay, I want to go and take the end off with a four, or I want and go and run on a flare screen by number 5. I want to cut around and go and set a screen in the corner. This is a very simple example in how to make a set more unpredictable. But it doesn't require super smart players it doesn't require that, okay, the point guard that now is passing the ball is always making the right decision. Sometimes it's only about, okay, you make a decision, and the defense, when you call, I don't know, horns up, the defense don't know what's coming to them. Okay, does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, we already spoke about this. It's not the opposite of a set-based offense. I really believe of installing concept or options or ideas into your set as a first step, especially because none of us have been coached this way in the past. It's not easy to start. You will make mistakes. So especially if I was very lucky because I had a great set of guys to experiment. And with the COVID season, I have to be honest, this was also helpful for me because we didn't have the pressure of having a league starting immediately or a game every week. So this was helpful for me. Uh, I will. Okay, now this is important. First of all, I really suggest to you this great book by Doug Lemo, A Coach Guide to Teaching. And I will just go with a short note on terminology. For me, it's super important, and I didn't believe in that so much a few years ago. But I've read books about how our brains learn stuff, and when you put a specific name to a specific action, it's not only easier for you to explain it or to explain the drill that you're doing, but let's say I call the step up pick and roll, I call it step up pick and roll instead of simply, okay, side pick and roll, and or a side pick and roll with the empty corner and a side pick and roll with a full corner. Maybe it has two different names in your system. And why it is helpful? There are research, like very scientific based research, that explain how if I have the name for something, I will see it more often. And if I see it more often, if I recognize that, I can learn implicitly better. So let's say that I see you playing against an aggressive coverage, a hard trap in a pick and roll, and I see you making a mistake, like a turnover because you dribble too much or you don't protect your dribble, you don't go for the short roll, but you go for the hard skate in the corner, let's say. If I know what that coverage is, I can, in an easier way, see and react what you did was effective or not effective in that situation, and I can put that info into my brain, my big box of information that my brain process all the time. So whatever you teach, to have a clear terminology is super important. And why I'm making this terminology known, because this was our most important terminology this season. We were speaking about every time I received the ball, and we did many drills, we're gonna see what we did. We were speaking about I receive with already an advantage created, or I receive and the defense is neutral. What do I mean? If I receive with an advantage created is every time there's a closeout to me, because maybe I received the ball, it could be in transition, it could be because the defense was bad position. So when I receive the ball, my defender is running at me or is out of balance for any reason, or I make a good blast cut sprinting toward the ball and he's late. Then I have an advantage. Then I don't want to stop the ball. This was a big principle for us. We accepted mistake about it in the beginning, meaning that I have to take it, I have to make a decision. If in the beginning the decision is wrong sometimes, it's okay. It's part of the process. Maybe I will shoot it when I should have drive right, or I drive right instead of driving left because I don't read the closeout perfectly. We will work on that. We are working on that every day. But it's for us, it was a worse mistake to not recognize the advantage, to not see that I already had an advantage. Because if I stop the ball, then I've lost the advantage. Okay. While when the situation was neutral, our main principle was we didn't want any static 1v1. We didn't have players who were able to create advantage for themselves. But I strongly advise you, even if you have players that for your level are good creator one-on-one, they can create out of nothing. It's not something that they will bring to the better level, to the higher level. So I will suggest you, even if you have some of those players, still try to play what we did. So immediate use of a trigger. And which trigger do I use? What's the trigger? We will examine all of that later. So how do we coach it? Let's start from this. We have an advantage situation. And first of all, we wanted to become super good at every time we had an advantage, we have to expand it, maintain it, and not lose it. So the progression that we use were from easier to harder, and also from less representative to more real. What do I mean by that? So, for example, the first, we will see some drills of that. Uh, we started with scripted, but always with some defenders on the floor, even if they were scripted and their movement was predetermined. So we know where the advantage was going to be and how to punish it. Later, we're going to make example of that, but these can be the defense is going to trap on the pick and roll, and we want to punish it with a short roll. So the drill is 2-on-2. The defense can only do that, come aggressively to me, and then I have to execute the right technique to give the ball to the short roll, the footwork that we want. That's it. Later, we know where the advantage is going to be, but we have to read the defense and how to punish it. So imagine this. I have the same pick and roll, but now it's not 2-on-2, it's 3-on-3. And there is a defender in the weak side that can either commit to the short roll and come in and tag and keep away and take away the pass. So you have to read, okay, the defense is going to do this. I can either pass to the short roll or read the defender, pass to the corner. But now, the third step, the more real one, is that we know there's going to be an advantage. Let's say that the advantage is going to be triggered by a side pick and roll, and the defense is going to crash into the screen. We're going to give a small handicap to the ball defender. But now we don't know if the defense is going to trap aggressively. And so we know, okay, if they trap, we have to do this and this. Or if the defense is going to maybe play like a drop coverage. So in another moment, you have practiced all your coverage solution against the drop coverage. And then you have to pick the right situation. And this is the last step. We're going to talk a lot more about this later, is that when I receive the ball, I don't know if there's going to be an advantage or not. Okay, I will make an example about this. So imagine this simple drill. So here, I am going to drive to the baseline. And
hold on
when
one
I
second.
drive to the baseline,
I still see the conceptual offense slide.
wait, that's strange. Wait,
There
now I'm out of the presentation. Now you see it?
Now I see it.
Okay, perfect. Let's go back. Good?
Yep.
Okay. So I will try to explain it for the people that are not watching this on YouTube or in video form. They are listening to it. Imagine that there's a drive to the baseline, and you know there's going to be a help from the corner, and the X-man, let's say the defender of the wing, is going to shift down to protect the corner pass. We want that pass to the wing, or the wing make a ghost cut in the paint. So this is a block type of advantage and a block movement for the defense. It is the first step, scripted. Now the second step can be, follow me in the thought process, that there's going to be a drive to the baseline, there's going to be the help coming from the corner, but now the X-man of that rotation, the wing, the defender of the player position in the wing, can decide which passing line does he want to cover. So the pass can either be to the corner, the wing, and you can all do these drills in a guided way or in a live way. Live mean that, okay, there's an advantage in the beginning. Maybe the ball handler defender has to touch a cone, can touch a pylon, the hand of the coach, or can simply be guided and is going to simply chase him and put some contact on him in order to make the pass harder, but it's not going to really try to go in front. And the last step, for example, can be that the drive from the wing can either be to the baseline or to the middle. So you see what we are doing here. We are layering up all the time, implementing new things that we have to read or new situation that can occur.